Welcome to Data to Decisions. In today's video, I'm going to take a list of city names where we have the city, comma, state name in full, and I'm going to convert it into city, comma, state abbreviation. And I'm going to be using another table to look up the information that I need to get the abbreviation, and I'm going to replace the city string with this abbreviated value. We're going to be using very simple Excel formulas to do so. Let's get started. Now let's start with first having our data sets converted into tables. This is something that I highly recommend. We do that almost in all the videos, and let's do that here also. Select everything, Control T, convert it into a table, and in this case, I can just give uh, maybe abbreviation as the name, T underscore abbreviation. And then we have the city names as well. And let's just leave it as it is. We don't need to convert it into a table in this example. Let's just start with first extracting the state value, right? So I'm going to put a formula here equals, I'm going to take the city value that we have, Austin, comma, Texas, and I want to extract only the state part. So how can I do it? Text after, and then I'm going to select Austin, Texas. So that's cell, comma, and I'm going to trust here that a city name will not have multiple commas. I'm just going to assume that this is a clean set of data where there is a city, comma, and then a state name. So I'm going to use comma space. I'm going to do a space because there's a space there. And then close your double quotes, and then let's hit enter. Now you get exactly the state name in full. That works for all of those. This is great. Now let's calculate the abbreviation. And I'm doing this in separate columns just to keep things simple and it's easy to explain, but you can put all of this into one formula and make it a little bit longer formula, but it will still work the same. Just for this demo, I'm going to do it separately. So let's extract or look up the abbreviation from our abbreviation table. So what we can do is to do an XLOOKUP function, open parenthesis, select the value that you've already calculated as the state name, and then comma, and I'm going to look it up, the state name in our state name, this table of abbreviation. And you can see that now the table name comes through that we named before. And so this is where it's handy if you've converted it into a table. And then, comma, what do I want to return? I want to return the abbreviation. So I'm selecting the abbreviation, close parenthesis. Let's hit. Now we have the abbreviation. So now for the last part, this is the most important part, we're going to do an approach where let's go and find where the comma and space appears and then remove everything after and replace it with the abbreviation that we already know. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to use the search function first, search, and I'm going to search for comma space. And just in case if you believe that there could be another comma, we have to take that into account. But I'm going to assume that the comma space will only appear between the city and the state name. Again, that's an assumption we are making based on the data here. Comma space. And then I'm going to do comma in this value, F7. And let's see what it says. So it says 7. So what does 7 mean? So the comma appears in the 7th position in this value. So Austin is 6 letters. Comma appears on the 7th location. So what do I really want to do is to only replace the value Texas. Comma and the space can still remain the same. So what I'm going to do is to do +2, and now it gives me 9. So let me just extend it. Just make sure that we understand how it works, right? So let's take Miami. So Miami is 5-letter word, and then we have a comma, which is the 6th letter, and then we have a space, which is the 7th, and then the 8th is the F for Florida. Now we want to start from that position and then remove everything and replace it. That's what we have to remember. And so far, this calculation is giving us exactly the point where we should start replacing it. Good. Now let's try the replace function, and I'm going to put that in the beginning, replace. Now what are we replacing? The old city value, comma. Where do I start? Start from the position that we've already identified and calculated. And how many characters should I be replacing? So for that, I'm just going to do a length function because I need to tell Texas is 5 letters, so it'll take 5 letters and replace. California has a lot more letters. So instead of hard coding this, we're going to just say use the length function and calculate the length of the name of the state. And luckily, we already have the name of the state extracted. So I'm going to use that as a helper column here and say length of I7, close parenthesis. Now, we have already given how many characters. What is the new text that you want to replace? So yeah, it's great that you're going to remove Texas. What are you going to replace it with? The abbreviation that we already calculated, which is in J7. So I'm going to close and let's see how it works. So now it does Austin, comma Texas or TX, Los Angeles, comma CA. So exactly as we wanted. So let's learn it through one more time in terms of how it works. We will look at Los Angeles, for example, Los Angeles, California. The first point is to go and search for in the city name, look for the value which is a comma and a space, and now you know where it is. You add 2 to that position. So wherever you find, you go 2 steps to the right. And then now from there, you replace the text all the way until the length of the state name. And what am I going, now that I know what to remove, what am I going to replace with is the abbreviation, which is the last parameter for the replace function. So we've used the search function, the length function, and the replace function. So those three functions together, and then we already used the text after and the text lookup to look up the value. But this is super dynamic because if you add another state name to the state name table here, it'll still come through into your formulas automatically. So please let me know if you have any better or more efficient method to do so in your organization. And if you have any suggestions, please post them in the comments. If you would like any topic to be addressed in a future video, please put those also in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in another video.